Oh, yeah. Hello, all. Welcome to the stream. It's Thursday, September 2nd, and it's just about 10:37 p.m. on the west coast of the United States, and got a kind of an exciting show because it's the first time we're actually going to be shooting in the studio that we've been building. And of course, in true fashion, this is not at all set up quite how I would like it to be. And there's a lot of work that has to be done. Um, but I was putting it off too long, and I was like, "This is what I really want to be able to shoot in here." So let's just do it. Let's just do it. Lots gonna need to change. Um, but this is the first iteration. Obviously, we're still in black and white, so we're still in version 1 of the show. I hope everyone had a great day, by the way. I hope everyone had a great week. We're coming to the end of the week here, which I hope you're all looking forward to Photography Friday because that's coming up tomorrow. Um, yeah, I hope everyone's going to have a great weekend. Ready for the weekend. I'm ready for the weekend. Everyone is working for the weekend, is what I've been told. Like I said, this is the first time we're doing the studio type of shoot. It's actually probably going to be a pretty quick stream. I don't know how long this is going to end up taking. I don't know, because the first time we've done it. So let's just find out. It's going to be really simple. Just a simple still life photo. Again, super, super simple. I'm not even really lighting this at all. I'm just going to be using the the lighting that's already set up in the studio so that we don't have to mess around. Plus, there's a very limited amount of space. This is a little bit of a different view than you're probably used to because we are on a wider angle here than what we usually shoot in. I'm usually shooting on a 24 millimeter lens, but right now we're at 17 millimeter. And you can see we have this little studio set up over here. I have this cool little wooden box. It says 7 Up Bottling Co. of Los Angeles. It's a really cool box. And I actually should shoot a photo of just that box. I've used it in photo shoots. It's a very photogenic box. But right now we're actually going to be using the interior of it as our backdrop for this little still life that we're going to be shooting. And what we're shooting is just simply going to be this Argus camera, this guy, and a couple of the lenses. Well, there's only 3 lenses that they've made for this camera, at least Argus branded, that as far as I know have been released. I should probably look into that. But we're going to shoot this camera, shoot the 2 lenses, the additional lenses. It has the 50 millimeter lens on it, and then I'm also going to be shooting the 35 millimeter lens and the 100 millimeter lens as well. Ooh, listen to that aperture. I don't know if you probably. Oh my gosh. I could just sit here and do. I love touching lenses. I love lenses. I love lenses. I love cameras. Y'all know that. But something feels real. First of all, opening and closing the aperture. Oh, it feels so good. And then turning the focus ring is also very pleasing to me. I love lenses, and these guys are so tiny. Also, if you haven't been following, you would know that we also have an adapter. We have this Argus lens adapter to Canon RF mount. Really weird. If you had seen the unboxing video, or maybe I didn't unbox. I didn't truly unbox this, but they call it RA mount. I don't know what the hell. I don't know how they don't get confused. With if it's what mount this is, because it's RF. It's for Canon RF mount. And they actually scared me. If you remember, they had told me like, oh, just buy this mount. And they actually told me to buy the Canon EOS M2 RF mount, and then just put in the notes that I wanted the RF mount. And then it came and it said RA. And I was like, this is not this is not going to be the right thing, but it was. Yeah, it says AR, it says RA on the front, and then on the back side it says ER mount. I don't know what they're thinking, but anyway, at some point we're also gonna play around with shooting these really old vintage Argus lenses on my R5, which coincidentally is what we're shooting on today, or shooting with today. The camera that you're watching me on is the Canon R, the original Canon R, and then the Canon R5 is actually what we'll be shooting this still life with. And then we're also going to get the light meter in there, this beautiful vintage Argus light meter. Absolutely, come on, focus on this sucker. Really beautiful light meter. Fits the aesthetic of the camera very well. So we're going to play around with that, or we're going to put that in there. And then I'm going to throw this roll of Kodachrome that I found in one of the Arguses that I bought. We're going to throw that in there too, because Kodachrome, if you know, it doesn't exist anymore. They stopped producing this type of film. And I would love to get this developed. It did have a couple images shot. I bought this one of the old school Argus cameras. It came with this roll of film, like a couple frames were shot or something. I don't know, maybe like it's only 20 exposure roll. 20, weird number, huh? That's how they did it back then. Not even 24, just 20. So it might have had like 5 exposures shot on it. Who knows if it's going to even be able to be developed? I don't know. We're gonna figure that out. That'll be some trials and tribulations for the show. That'll be fun. How you doing, Gare? How you doing? How's John doing? How's my bro doing? Y'all doing good? I know you're good because you're watching my show. So it's, you have to be good, right? You gotta be. But yeah, hope everyone's well. And let's just get down to it. Again, I'm probably gonna have to work out some hiccups. First thing I had done, first of all, okay, let's go into the shooting. Let's go into the shooting mode here. Shooting mode engaged. What I'm shooting with is I'm tethered to my computer, and we're shooting in Canon EOS Utility, which is the Canon's proprietary tethering and image capture software. I've been using that to shoot tethered for a long time. I'm a big tethered shooter. I love having my laptop. I love being able to look at the image very large, make sure that everything's coming out beautifully. It also looks really kick-ass for your client when you have a bunch of stuff set up. That's kind of a thing in the photo cinema world. The impression that you make on your client when you're shooting the gear, as little as the gear is important. I do not hold the gear to the highest regard. The most important thing that you're to shooting is your subject. Your subject has to be impressive and important and interesting. The lighting has to be beautiful, and your composition has to be great. You have those things. Honestly, you could point your phone at it and it's going to come out great. I mean, I see beautiful images that people take with their phones every day. I love some of the photos that I've taken with my phone. My bro John gets some extremely beautiful images out of his phone that I see on the regular on the regs. And it doesn't matter what you shoot with for the most part. But at the same time, I love cameras and toys, and clients don't know any of that. Clients have no concept of what is good or what isn't generally. So it pays to look impressive so that those people just think that you're doing the good job, even though you don't need the gear necessarily. It can be important from a perspective of the client, how they look at you and how it's looking. So we are shooting with the R5. We're shooting with the 50 millimeter 2.8 TSE-L 2.8 L lens macro. It's a 2-to-1 macro. It's not a 1-to-1 macro. We've discussed this on the show before, and all my tilt shift lenses. I have the 135. I have the 50. I found a guy selling the 90 millimeter tilt shift. Oh, I'm so tempted. but they're all 2-to-1 macros. None of them are true 1-to-1 macros. It's kind of an interesting choice on Canon's side. I don't know why they decided to do it like that. I'd be very interested to know why they decided to make them only 2-to-1 macros. They probably know that putting the extension tubes on it is not a big deal, I guess. I don't know. But when I need 1-to-1, I do have the 2 extension tubes, EF extension tubes, and the also the 1.4 teleconverter, which will also extend your or expand your macro reproduction ratio and get it closer. I think you need the 2.0 multiplier to get it to a full 1-to-1 without any additional extension tubes. But today, the item we're shooting, we don't need to get down to 1-to-1 reproduction ratio. We're only shooting a still life of a smaller object. So this is a perfect lens to do it with. And I am using the Canon RF or EF to RF adapter. I have the drop-in filter adapter on the camera right now. I have my standard EF to RF adapter on my R because the lens we shoot that you're looking at me on, that's the Canon EF 17 to 40 4.0 L. Beautiful lens. I have a lot to say about that lens, which we will discuss at some point. Believe me, I'm going to talk about that lens. And if you're watching this later, keep in mind I will eventually have links to a lot of this gear up on either my website or on the YouTube links, or on the YouTube page where these end up post the live stream. These all end up on the YouTube. And I eventually will have links to some of this gear. And if you want to help support the channel, buying the gear through my links will help support the channel. I get a little kickback for any of these affiliate links that I would post. Obviously, I will definitely make it obvious when you're following an affiliate link. I'm not going to try to I don't want people to not know that they're supporting the channel. I don't know why you wouldn't want to, if you're clicking on a link and buying something, people don't like to just be thrown into affiliate links. So anyway, if you do like this gear and this is the kind of stuff you like to do and you want to buy some of this, if you buy it through my links, again, helps the channel out big time. So thank you ahead of time, because I know you're going to do it. I know you want all this gear, right? You want to buy gear, you want to play with gear, you want to shoot gear. You want to turn that focus ring on those lenses, which these tilt shift lenses have beautiful full manual focus, not there's no autofocus on these lenses. So they have a beautiful, well-dampened focus ring that feels very good, very smooth, very buttery. And the EF, all the EF autofocus lenses, while you do have, it's not or there are lenses that are focused by wire, which means that there's no actual mechanical coupling as you're turning the focus ring. Some lenses do have a fly-by-wire, like the 85 1.2 is a focus-by-wire mechanism, but a lot of the other lenses have an actual focus mechanism, and those feel okay, but they do not feel anywhere near as good as a true manual focus lens. That's just the truth. So, as you can see, I kind of already composed this. I mean, I have done some test shoots, so I know hopefully how this will come out, but this is basically how it falls off the truck, as it were, looking into the corner of this box, which is what we're shooting with. It's a beautiful wood grain texture to it. I love wood grain. If you know anything about what we're doing with these cameras, which I've talked about a million times, but we are going to customize these Argus C3s to look more like the camera in Fallout, which we shoot with on Photography Fridays. If you're interested in what that's like, check it out tomorrow. We're going to be doing it tomorrow, same time, 10:30-ish p.m. Get some cool photography, in-game photography, fun stuff on Fridays. But we are customizing it. In the game, I have a beautiful wood panel camera cover for the C3, and we're going to customize that. So I love wood grain just in general. So this is the Argus is the main element that we want to put in there. And also I'm shooting in EOS Utility, like I said, and the frame rate is really it's really jittery. I mean, you can see that. I love my wood again, talking about his love of wood. Yeah, dude, who doesn't like wood, man? anyway, you can see that like the frame rate through live view here, the EOS utility is not the best. So I apologize if it is choppy and stuff. That again, working out how we're gonna do this, kind of as we go, almost. Not really, but kind of. I mean, I got to work out the logistics. I mean, I don't even know. It's kind of tough. I mean, again, I'm working with a pretty limited space, so it's tough to get in there and do everything. That's why I decided not even to try to do any kind of lighting, because adding that element right now would just be a nightmare. Until I get this whole place set up. But like I said, I wanted to challenge myself. I was like, when am I gonna actually be able to do a photo shoot? And I was like, just do it today. Just do it. Just get on there and do it. Hey, Paxmore. So again, Paxmore. If you're just joining us, this is the little mini photo studio setup. Just first version 1, of course. All this is subject to change. A lot of stuff going on here. A lot of moving parts. But we're shooting with R5, 50 millimeter tilt shift lens. I have my Rogetti tripod head, the RG1, which I will talk about. I have stuff to say about this tripod head. I have stuff to say about my other tripod head too. I have a beautiful, my real main shooting tripod head I have on the camera that you're watching me on. And I didn't want to mess around and take that off and put it on this little low tripod thing that I got. So, right now we're just shooting with kind of a ghetto little setup. It's really weird. I won't even go into it, but I'm like at the weight limit for this little mini tripod for sure. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice when I put my main subject in there, first thing, it's, obviously we should tilt down, but I do not want to tilt down. I'm just going to use the shift function of this lens. The tilt shift lenses are my favorite types of lenses to shoot with. I absolutely love these lenses. I have a lot to say about them. I own several of them. I'm trying to buy the full set. Got to complete the kit. You got to catch them all. So right now I have the 24, 50, and 135. Really want the 17, but I also really want the 90 millimeter tilt shift. But these lenses have you have a lot of control over the image with these lenses. And one of the functions is the shift function here. So this is what I'm talking about. Like logistically, gotta like reach in here and stuff. I was trying to work this out. It's just weird. Like I'm gonna get everything set up so it's a little bit more streamlined. Again, it's logistics. It's all logistical concerns here. But like I said, I just wanted to do it, man. I just want to get on here and just shoot. Wait, Paxmore says cam to solo. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Since you didn't see it, this probably wouldn't be the real angle of view here. I don't know how it will actually be set up once I get everything finalized, but this is pretty close to what it's going to look like. I'm cutting off a bit of my shelf. You guys are all used to seeing something more like that, although zoomed in. And right now I've just panned over so that we can see that little studio, that little miniature photo studio setup thing. But again, a lot of stuff's going to change. So, but yeah, thanks. Thank you very much. Paxmore says nice. So that's nice. So anyway, viewfinder inactive. Oh, that's fine. Okay. And hopefully my battery doesn't die on my R5. Are we still live on there? Yeah. Okay. It's such a slow refresh rate. That's one thing I'm going to work out. Like I'd love to show us your feet. I got my foot there. You're just making me run around in circles. I just want to shoot photos. You'll see my feet one day. Mostly. So anyway, okay. I want to tilt down, but I'm not going to tilt down. I'm just going to shift the image down. For fun. More not I could tilt, but I can tilt like a little bit. But also I'm also going to do a shift to increase the depth of field in a second as well, but we'll get to that. So all would do. Oh, also, hang on. I can have this up on my big monitor as well so I can see how I'm composing. Just unlock that shift knob. And then we're just going to shift down. Cut out that line. Make this just all about a hard cut. Yeah, the wood. Yeah. That looks pretty sweet. Good starting point. Good starting point. Good talk. Good talk, everybody. So, again, this is our main draw. And actually, I love, there's like this, the way the light is falling on the box. The top of the box is actually giving us this nice little slice, or this cut. It's cutting the light, rather. Giving us that nice shadow in the background. And I'm actually allowing that cut to go right across the top of the camera as well. I think that looks pretty cool. I might, if I had the tools, I might cut just a little bit of the light on that left corner, but we can do something. We're going to also open this up in Photoshop after we finish the shoot, which really, this should be pretty fast. And then we'll edit these up, and I'll make some adjustments. One hell of a shift. Yeah. John Mosey Hinton says that's one hell of a shift. Really? So anyway, okay, that's a good starting point. I'm actually gonna, that's good. Maybe a little bit more of a 3/4. No, I actually kind of like it almost straight on, just like that. Ooh. And then let's just focus on the main portion of the camera body. At this focusing distance, I'm very close to this subject. And right now, let's see, I'm going to set it an f8. I'm at an f8. And I think, did I have depth of field preview on? I thought I had depth of field preview on. This might be showing you the depth of field at f8, but even at f8, again, I mean, it's at such a close focus distance that it's going to throw some stuff out of focus, which, again, we will remedy a little bit when we do the shift, and you'll notice some of the other elements in the frame falling out of focus once we get those in there. Which first, let's throw in this beautiful light meter. I absolutely love the way this light meter looks. Very beautiful complement. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I want to rotate that, push it back just a little. Get this in there. Ooh, yeah. Something just like that. You can read the Argus name. This model of the camera, this is the original C3. It does not have the Argus name on the front of the camera. The Argus C3 Colormatic, which I also own, does have that Argus brand name on the camera. And to customize the camera, we have to make it say Pro Snap Deluxe. And that's going to be a challenge. That's actually something I'm trying to consider. Vibes. Yeah, good vibes. Positive vibes. Oh, yeah, Pro Snap Camera Club. Yeah, join Pro Snap Camera Club. Eventually you will, I hope, be able to actually sign up for some kind of cool Pro Snap Camera Club thing, and you'll get like a starter kit or something, like stickers, a postcard, sack of marbles, PD. But right now you can't do that. But if you do go to prosnapcameraclub.com, you'll see some of the photos that we've taken on the Photography Friday stream, which we will be doing tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, we will also probably have on Pro Snap Camera Club at least links to us doing the customization of this camera. But yeah, again, all works in progress. All works in progress, eh? I'm going to shift a little bit more. I'm going to shift down just a little bit more, I think. Just a teeny. There's a little bit too much headroom. And I'd love to include a little bit more of that foreground so I can get some more of the light meter in there. And then I know I'm going to want to leave a little bit of room on that right side for the lenses. Let's Just get this little chain out of there. There's beautiful. It comes with this beautiful chrome chain, and I'm not sure what I'd want to do with this in the frame, so I'm just kind of letting it fall out of the frame, and that's fine. That's fine by me. Yeah. And then let's throw in the 100 millimeter, the Tele Sandmar, as they call it. This was made in Germany, Innerwerk München, U.S. zone, Germany during the Cold War, when Berlin was divided up and such. But we'll put in the 100 millimeter in there. Beautiful lens. Again, I'm going to be shooting with these lenses. Get that f4.5. And then maybe actually I'm also going to rotate the focus to have those. Let's rotate the focus so we can see that awesome depth of field scale. Yeah, I think actually, at least the focus distance and the depth of field scale. Yeah, something like, I'm going to put this actually back here. What's nice about those chrome colors, even though that's going to be that's really falling heavily into the shadow there, the chrome reflects a lot of light, so it's actually stands out very well even against that low-key darker backdrop there. So that looks great, in my opinion. Do you guys think it looks cool? I think this looks cool. I was setting this up and I was like, actually, this is going to come out better than I thought. I was not anticipating anything. I was like, this is going to be trash. It's the first time I'm doing this, so it could be trash. But again, I wanted to get this. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about shooting actual photo shoots on the stream, and I really wanted to get one going finally. So that's looking pretty cool, eh? We have a big space right here, and that's going to be where our 35 millimeter lens is going to go. This is the Sandmar wide angle 35 millimeter f4.5. Beautiful little tiny lens. I think of my dream, if I had like all the money and I could do whatever, I would probably be trying to license the optical construction of this lens and try to remake these and rebrand them, remake them, and sell them in probably, I don't know if I'd sell them in any mount other than maybe I'd keep them in this mount since there are adapters. But also these are designed for rangefinder, so they have a rangefinder coupler gear on there, and these are not really made to focus and there's a few gotchas with the adapter because these can't screw onto the actual Argus camera. The back focus can get thrown off, or it can be slightly different. Like you can't tighten this down enough on the adapter to the point where the back focus is going to be correct. So like there's this little back focus adjustment on there, and it's all kind of ghetto. It's all kind of, it's all right. I've only shot a little bit with it, and I do want to talk and shoot a lot more with these on the show. But anyway, beautiful lens. I do have the lens hood screwed onto it. And the lens hood is also on the 100 millimeter. Gives them a little bit more of a impressive look, in my opinion. Let's set the focus. Let's set the focus somewhere cool. I'll set the focus on. That's pretty cool. Get the infinity symbol. Depth of field scale. Get the 35 millimeter number in there. Ooh. Scoot that back. I absolutely love still life photography, by the way. Always enjoyed it very much. It's extremely relaxing. It's relaxing. It's fun. This is like how I want. This is how I love shooting. This is my preferred method of shooting. What's up with the 100? It's like tilting. Oh, I see. You know what? We got it. Okay. You know what? I'll have to prop it up on something. There's two pieces of wood that make up that bottom panel, and it looks like since the lens is sitting. Or you know what I can do? Or you know what? I think it's the lens cap. Is the lens cap what's doing it? I'll take the lens cap off. It's just like a metal screw ring lens cap. Oh my gosh, this lens is beautiful. Okay. I love my lenses. Again, I love these lenses. Gotta love them. Yeah, taking off the lens cap helped a little bit. That's pretty sweet. And then I'm just going to shift the whole shindig over just a little. Oh, yeah. Man, that's looking pretty sweet. Again, do you guys like it? Do you people think it looks sweet? Because, you know, I'm not the only one in the room, okay? But I think that looks pretty rad. And again, I mean, there's not much else to do here. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to get the 35 back a little bit further. Let's get the focus set on the center point of this is basically the front of that 50mm lens that's mounted on the camera. Which, by the way, let's see, where should we set the focus? Votes on no turnaround. Do it slowly. Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's get that rangefinder. Well, how do we want to do this? How do we want that lens? Let's see. So if we go, it's like do we want the 50mm? I like that. No, I guess I don't care if you can read rangefinder on the actual camera. Something like that, I think, is well, let's do it. So, yeah, let's do that. And then we can close the aperture. We can shift the aperture. Like that. So the rangefinder, yeah, you can kind of read rangefinder on the rangefinder coupling dial. And then this guy. Oh, I guess that's, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, the aperture is in a weird spot. It's like this little disc that you turn on the front of the lens, but then it also can turn the rangefinder coupling. So very interesting design. That's fine. I like the way that looks. You can read the f-stops. You can kind of see that it says 50mm Argus coated Centaur. That's the other thing. Some of these lenses are uncoated and some of them are coated, which means that they should be better or worse with flare. The uncoated versions should be worse with flare. Coated versions should be better. There are at least the coated and uncoated version of the 50mm lens. And so I've been looking for an uncoated version. I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the other ones that I have. Just want to be honest. Yeah, I do not have the uncoated version, but that's going to be an interesting thing to check out. And see if there's a big difference, especially uncoated. A lens this old, uncoated from back then, should have some pretty harsh flare. I mean, even the coated lens, I'm going to guess, has some pretty bad flare issues, but who knows? We'll find out when we shoot with them. And let's scoot just a little bit that way. Yes. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Now I just am going to do a little bit of a tilt with the lens to increase the depth of field a little bit, because you'll notice that the light meter is falling out of focus. The 35mm lens is falling out of focus. Right now we have a very thin focus just on the just on the lens and that 100 millimeter a little bit. And like I said, I was trying to look. Okay, no, I have depth of field is off. So if you turn depth of field preview on, that's closer to what our focus is going to look like. And actually, it's not bad. I mean, to be honest, I probably don't need to do a shift or a tilt. I mean, I did a shift rather, but I probably don't necessarily need to do the tilt. But I'm gonna do it anyway. You know, why not? We got the power. Powered up here. Yeah. 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 And then because we did that, that did bring a lot more of the frame into focus. But then because we did that, that also is going to make us need to shift up again to recompose to our original composition. Something like that. And actually, I'm going to go to f5.6. I'm going to go to a 5.6er. We are shooting this in black and white. I thought that was very fitting. And then I just want to throw in our last element that we're throwing in is this little roll of Kodachrome. Kodachrome? Chronos? Little roll of Kodachrome. Let's do it like right there. Would love like maybe more than one roll of film in there, but that's the only roll of Kodachrome I got, so that's what we get. Although let's get that. Actually, maybe. Something like that might be kind of cool. Pretty sweet. Let's shift this whole shindig in there a little bit. Gonna just shift it. And I'm actually just moving the box now. I'm not shifting the lens when I say shift on this one. Shift it over. Yeah. And then let's refocus a little bit. Looks like the focus just... Yeah, there we go. Get everything sharp and focused there. There's quite a few schools of thought in terms of depth of field and what's proper and what's not and all that stuff. So there's no right or wrong way. If you like a shallower depth of field, shoot with a shallower depth of field. Why didn't that switch to 5.6? There we go. 5.6 at 8 seconds. No, pal. 2 seconds. 4 seconds? 2 seconds. This is such a weird... The interface, it keeps glitching on me. And we only have two bars of battery. That's plenty. Okay, that looks pretty sweet. That's looking pretty good. Yep, we're at a 5.6. That's good. We don't want to close down too much because diffraction will actually limit the amount of sharpness. 5.6 is a pretty good spot on the R5 for the 45 megapixels without introducing too much diffraction. We're shooting RAW with a small JPEG as well. I always shoot both. I always shoot RAW plus JPEG. I do like to see the way the camera is interpreting the color, at least the color profile that Canon adds. I like to see that and when I'm making my adjustments. So anyway, that looks pretty cool in my opinion. So I think we're pretty good. I like the little eyelet, the wood eyelet thing just to the left of the Kodachrome 2. Let's actually scoot that Kodachrome back. Oh, actually, I thought the depth of field was falling off. I think the left side of the frame is just a little softer. Older lenses will definitely be a lot softer around the periphery of the image with a much sharper central area of focus. That's just generally how older lenses behave, as it were. And I'm actually going to shift down a tad just to balance the frame a little bit better without having to crop it. And then let's actually pull the light meter just a tiny bit more out. That chain is kind of bugging me. But it's kind of not. Actually, you know what? I do like this chrome. And since we have so much negative space in the front of the frame there, maybe just coil the light meter chain, something like that, right across the bottom of the frame. Break up that negative space. Add another interesting thing in there. Does that look good? Is that cool, that chain in there? I don't know. What do you think? What do we think of the chain? Redeemed. Oh, I can't hear that because I don't have my headphones. That's why I can't hear any monitoring of that stuff. Let's see that tilt. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that chain. I don't know. It's something that's still life photography or product photography. Any kind of like long, like cables, for instance. Cables, when they're showing cables in product photography, it's always just weird. It's like, what do you do with the cable? The cable never looks natural. It's like, get it as short as possible so you don't have to coil it. And that's about all you could hope for. I don't know, maybe like more of like an organic looking pile with this chain not so well set up. Something. I don't know. Well, I think the coil was, that fell pretty nicely. Kind of like the way that, I like the way that looks. That's good. That's good. That is good. And now I'm going to shift down again. I'm like going back and forth on this guy, huh? Just a little bit, Odell. Ooh, I say, I think that's looking pretty healthy. That's looking pretty nice. Most console ads have nothing plugged in. Yeah, right. Yeah, this looks great, guys. This looks great, everybody. This looks great, all. So let's shoot some of this. I am gonna do a bracketed exposure. So let's start with our bright exposure, which is, we'll do super overexposed. Whoa. 3.2 seconds. Expose all those shadows. Actually, let's go even more extreme. Let's do 4 seconds. Really overexposed to get all that shadow detail so that if we want to combine this into a higher dynamic range image, which maybe we'll do that in Photoshop as well. Maybe. We can do that. So we'll shoot that. This is going into the folder I created already. Yep, Argus Still Life. Yep. I created that folder already. All ready to go. Tungsten white balance, that's fine. F4, yep. ISO 400 is fine. I don't want the exposure times to get too ridiculous. That's why I'm at 400. I would typically probably keep it at ISO 100 or even drop it down to 50. Although there's really not that big of a difference between 50 and 100. ISO 50 is essentially ISO 100 overexposed and then brought down, like pulled down. The exposure is pulled down in camera, and you actually get less dynamic range with ISO 50, or at least that's how it has been typically. I should look into, I actually have to look into the R5 and see if that's changed at all. I should know this, but I don't. So anyway, okay, sweet. Our overexposed shot. Let's grab it. 4 seconds. 4-second dance party. Sweet. See the little progress bar go up as it's uploading or downloading the image to the computer. Oh, there's a little preview. You can't see it because it just popped up on my screen. I don't need the preview though. Okay. Then we'll do a 2-second exposure. We're just going to do like a 3-stop bracket or like a 4-stop bracket here. So 2 seconds, still a little overexposed. Awesome. And then let's do a 1 second. Beautiful. And some of those highlights on the chrome are definitely taking quite a hit, especially that 35. The lens hood is reflecting quite a lot of light, so we're going to bring this down just like to the extreme to get, let's do like 1/10 of a second, just to get like all those chrome highlights. Let's actually even do like 1/15, just to make sure we're getting all that highlight information from all those little specular reflections coming off those chrome pieces. And that is it. We got it. So next, let's just open those up. Let's check out what we got. Let's check out what we got in the Photoshops. Swap over to our Photoshop view here. Bling, ching. That looks great. We got obviously the RAWs coming in color because there's no color profile baked in, and the JPEGs come in as that beautiful black and white. This is probably the closest to what the exposure will look like when we're finally done. This is kind of like the more correct exposure, but we are going to play around with it a little bit, just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Ooh, that looks so gorgeous. That looks gorgeous. Okay. So let's filter out. We're just going to play with the RAWs. We'll actually open up all of these in Adobe Camera Raw. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. We're going to select all of them. And then we're going to merge them. As you can see right here, we're going to merge them to an HDR. Because apparently, you can't capture the entire dynamic range unless you bring down those contrast ratios with your lighting. And apparently, I didn't want to deal with playing around with the lighting because apparently I have a very small workspace. And apparently, this HDR merging is taking a very long time to merge. I hope it's not just broken. We got a good. Let's see this. We got a good. Oh no, it's moving. It's moving. I guess I haven't really worked. First of all, these are dual pixel. These aren't just 45 megapixel, which should come in around 45 megabyte images. These are dual pixel RAW, which captures basically twice the amount of information. I have a lot to say about dual pixel RAW. I think it's amazing. Nah, they don't have everything opened up yet, but it's pretty sweet. Let's see. Okay. Align the images. It shouldn't have to align, but we need to keep it on anyway. We're not going to deghost since nothing moved. There should be no ghosting involved. Let's merge all that stuff. Merge that. We'll call Argus still life. HDR. And these come in as DNGs, digital negatives. The merge results. Okay, perfect. And then this is our merged HDR image, which should, it doesn't look great right now because we still have to bring back some of the detail in the areas that we want to. Oh, is it still doing something? It's still doing something. I see a progress bar. It's doing something. Again, I haven't really messed with dual pixel. I don't think I've done any real dual pixel raw HDR merging. So they're pretty big files. These are pretty big files. Let's see. What do we got here? I can't see. I don't know where the file size is. Whatever. I'll tell you. We'll look at that in a minute. Okay, so we know we want black and white. So let's go to, we'll do Adobe Monochrome color profile. Get us back into our vibe that we wanted to go with. Let's expand. We're going to open up the shadows a little bit, brighten the shadows. We'll bring down the highlights, which are going to bring down, hopefully, mostly that chrome finish area, which, again, because we shot that bracket, you should have plenty of detail in all these areas of the exposure. The highlights and the shadows should all be able to be adjusted pretty easily. Let's brighten up the total brightness. Let's add some contrast. Make that histogram look just nice and healthy. I'm all about health. Okay, so that's looking pretty nice. Ooh. Whoo boy. And like I said, I mentioned if I was lighting this and had more room and more stuff to help light with, I would probably have cut the light a little bit on the front and kind of created like a sandwich light cut, or at least a slash right across the middle of the frame. But because I didn't have that, we're going to do this in post. We're going to use, thank you, Paxmore. Paxmore says it looks pretty damn nice. Thank you. Somebody. Huh. Just kidding. I'm going to do this in post. So what we're going to do is we're going to add nice little adjustment to that front edge. Bring the exposure down over there. Yeah. And then actually that's going to allow us to bring our overall exposure up a little. Oh, yeah. Man, that looks cool. I must say so myself. Kaiser Sizo. Actually, here's one thing I'm noticing that I probably would have adjusted, but I'm not going to do it now. The way the camera is aligned with the frame, it should either be perfect, in my opinion, it should either be perfectly parallel, or it should be a harder slash. It should either, this back portion of the camera should either be parallel with the frame line, or it should be kind of a longer slash this way. But it doesn't bother me too much. But it's just something that's sticking out at me right now. Let's do another adjustment. We're gonna, wrong hotkey, pal. We're actually gonna go in and get this little chrome section here. We're gonna do a new brush. Just getting this really blown out portion of the chrome. And then we'll just bring down just the highlights on that. Just a little bit, Odell. Ooh, yeah. Yes, sir. Ooh. That's looking real healthy. And then I just want one more new, just kind of darkening just that corner in the front again. Maybe a little bit on this side. little bit on that side, kind of a vignette just across the bottom, as it were. Let's see, that's actually adjusting highlights still. Well, actually, we'll do -10 highlight and bring down the exposure. Yeah. Oops. Yep, okay. And then the exposure can come up just a little bit. Histogram looks just a little dim. Just a little sad. It was slumping. And that roll of Kodachrome is actually looking maybe a little too bright. So let's go into our localized adjustments again, where I'll meet the president again. And we're just going to select that Kodachrome a little bit. Bring down highlights on that, just so that exposure seems to hold a little bit better. Won't pop out too much. Although it wasn't really bothering me all that much, but, you know, I'm a stickler. Not a stickler for a tickler. And that looks... I mean, that looks pretty nice. Again, I in here in this studio, nothing... This is not set up at all to do exposure and color correction. It's not. I have a big bright light source blasting me in the face. 2 monitors blasting me in the face. So this is not... I will go over this. This is not how it's probably going to end up. I will probably go over this one more time after I get off the stream. When I can turn at least dim the lights a little bit in here and make sure the exposure is, you know, adjusted properly, because it's very hard to tell with this light blasting me in the face. Not the best. And actually, yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm actually just going to bump the contrast a little bit more. Contrast is super hot. Super hot. You can quote me on that. Contrast is hot. It is actually good to know, good for designer image makers to know, the human eye is more pleased by a higher contrast image. Typically speaking, generally speaking, higher contrast and or higher saturation will please a human eye more. It'll attract the eye more than a low contrast, low saturation image. Obviously, it's very subjective in terms of from a creative standpoint, and you should do whatever the hell you want. I'm just adjusting this to my eye. I'm not just adding contrast like it needs more contrast because that's how it's said to need contrast. No, I'm just doing it because it looks better to my eye. And again, I will probably make some slight adjustments to this before I actually finalize the exposure settings and all that. So, but that looks pretty good. Just curious if this does not have a profile for this lens. Let's see. Canon. No profile. Well, it's because it's RF. It's thinking it's RF. No, it doesn't. And I kind of know why that is. Does it have any of the tilt shifts? Yeah, see, it doesn't have any of the TSEs in here. And that's because it'd be a nightmare. Because when you shift the lens, the optical, you know, it's projecting an image circle, right? So those profiles correct for an image circle projected onto the 35 millimeter frame. And when that image circle is shifted, every parameter that has to be corrected for in the profile correction also has to shift in relation to how you're moving it. So the distortion, in other words, will shift around the frame. If there's some barrel distortion, it's not going to be centered. If you shifted the lens, that barrel distortion is going to be offset. And there's no, it does not read how much you've shifted. There's no transmission of the tilt, swing, shift of the lens, so the computer doesn't know how much you've shifted. In this economy, yeah. So you actually can't. Profiles wouldn't make any sense. Maybe you could do. Yeah. See, I'm not even no profile. I don't want to correct the profile. Maybe the diffraction, or I mean diffraction. Maybe fringing. You might be able to get rid of fringing, but I think, see, again, that'd be a profile thing that would be changing depending on your shift amount. So I think they keep it uncorrectable for that reason. But that's pretty good, man. That is pretty good. What else would I want to do here? I don't think there's anything else I'd want to do here. Yeah, I'm really liking that. So, yeah, that's it. Let's open it up in Photoshop. Like I said, it should be a pretty shorter. It should be a pretty shorter stream. I didn't intend this to take that long. In this economy, Paxmore. In this economy. Oh yeah. Man, I love the way this camera looks, dude. Eventually, like, when we do this kind of stuff, these are the kind of photos that I do want to sell. And again, if you want to support the channel, eventually you'll be able to buy prints of these kind of photos that we shoot on the stream. And they're all going to be very simple still life or just simple objects, things like that. Because that's what I like. It's what I like to shoot, and that's what I can shoot. So that's what we're going to shoot. And man, I really like the way that came out. So all we got to do next, it does look fine. It looks pretty good. I don't even need to make any adjustments in Photoshop. We are going to open up our template, Instagram white template, which I know, again, I'm sure will be in the wrong resolution. This happens every time. All you gotta do, Paul, is make a new template. But I won't. Oh wait, no, we don't like doing that. We do it to the image, I think. Or I could just open these at 240. That'd be smart, Paul, but didn't think of it. Okay. First of all, let's zoom in on this detail. Oh, look at that detail. Detail. Oh, sexy detail. Beautiful. Ooh. Look at those. Look how dirty that... this gear... This is the rangefinder clutch gear. Or rangefinder coupling gear. That got dirty. I'm going to clean all these lenses and stuff. This is like the preliminary shoot before we customize the camera, and then we'll do another shoot where we don't customize or with the camera customized. That'll be cool. Depth of field got a little weird. It actually fell off quite a bit up here on the rangefinder thing, but that's fine. I just really wanted to demonstrate the shifting and tilting more than anything. And the focus just got a little off on top there, which would not be, if you're actually doing a product photo shoot, you probably wouldn't like that. Stylistically, it looks fine in my opinion, especially for this type of photo shoot. So that's fine. That is yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. Yeah, that looks great. So changed our resolution. Yes, we did. Just going to drag and drop that layer onto our square template. Or wait, no. First, we will, we'll just do our image size here. That's what I should have done in the first place. And we know it's going to be 9 inches at the widest at 240. Going to move that in, slap that down. Let's make this a layer so that we can just select these and align the vertical and align the horizontal, or horizontal and vertical, whatever. So that's perfectly centered. Ooh, that looks good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm excited for these to go to print. Yeah, me too. That's going to be the big step, the big next step. Um, is getting this, because it's all again logistical. I want to find a print plate. Like I could. Okay, I'm debating setting it up and printing everything myself, which would be fun. I mean, we could print on the show too, so that might be kind of cool. But I like light jet prints. I like light jet prints, which is like more of a true photo print, true light sensitive emulsion on a piece of paper, just like you would get in a dark room. But it's done with lasers and it's extremely accurate. It's beautiful. I don't know if you've done. I'm sure you've gotten some light jet prints done before. But nowadays, if you get anything printed, it's most likely going to be an inkjet print because it's a lot cheaper, and very few places still do light jet prints. I do want to mainly produce and sell light jet prints, but again, the feasibility of that, how I can get everything printed and shipped to people, things like that. It's a big logistical concern. So a little bit of pondering to do about that stuff. And if I did inkjet, yeah, I mean, inkjet's just, I mean, that's a huge expense. First of all, I'd want to buy a new printer. Then you got to buy ink. Then you got to maintain the printer. I mean, I decided a while ago that I'm just outsourcing all my printing, professionally speaking. Not that I literally in my professional life very, very, very rarely need to print. Very rarely. That's why I just haven't really been doing it. But that is, I mean, a photograph is not complete, in my opinion. I mean, if you're talking about displaying a piece of art, really you want a photograph to be printed and displayed properly to really view it right. On digital images, you don't know who's looking at it on what device and how it's going to look on their device. This is a whole can of worms getting into color management. And like I said, I mean, my whole setup here is not really set up for good color management from the get-go. And then printing would be a whole nother nightmare. So again, might outsource, or preferably would outsource, but we'll see. Again, that being said, eventually, if you guys do like this kind of stuff, you will be able to support the channel by buying cool little prints, hanging them on your wall if you want. We're going to have series, if you have been watching these Write with Light series or Write with Light streams, you will know that we produce, collections of images, cool, thematically similar images that tell, or that really weave together an interesting, not necessarily a story, but yeah, pretty much a story. And those collections, I think would be cool to be able to sell piece by piece if people want. Again, I'm going to be shooting. One thing I really like shooting, again, are these classic looking cameras. And so getting these shot and printed for people to either hang on their wall or have just a book, cool classic cameras, and you can, postcard size prints that you can then slot into maybe these custom little photo books that maybe I would also sell. So I have a lot of ideas. Again, it's just logistical and practical, practically speaking, like what can I do? How can I do it? What's feasible? What's not going to be really expensive? Because I will sell, I probably will sell like smaller batch, larger prints for a lot more money. But then I also want some smaller prints that, more people are going to have access to. Again, like coffee table, small size book, things like that, instead of like, 16 by 20 prints, which again, I'd want to sell those pretty expensive. I mean, I take a lot of pride in my work. I hold my work to pretty high value, and I think everybody should. Art is, everyone decides their value of their own art. I hold mine again to really high regard, and I want to set the value, or I determine that the value is very high. So, the larger prints will definitely be more expensive, but the smaller ones should be pretty affordable. So okay, only thing we gotta do now is our signature. So I'm actually gonna open up Ocean Serenity. This is one of the images we edited on. Was this the? I don't know if this is the last Right with Light. It might not have been. I think that was the second to last Right with Light episode. But I just want to get that in there. Oh, that's right. It's a different aspect. We cropped this one to 16:9. I was trying to get the signature to make sure it was in the right spot, but that's fine. Or at least a similar spot. I don't know if these are ever going to really line up. What I should do is just have the signature on the template so that it's always there. That's another thing I could adjust about that template and then make my life a little easier. Signatures on there. And I think let's save it. First of all, it's been a while. All right, I didn't save this at all yet. So this is a Argus still life. And we don't need to say HDR since that HDR is the DNG. I mean, it's still an HDR technically. Oh, is it sRGB? Not that that matters. I mean, that's what we wanted in. But ooh, it is sRGB. That's fine. Whatever. Ideally, I mean, I keep everything in Adobe RGB until I'm ready to compress it into a JPEG, and then I will convert it to sRGB profile, which is should be perfect for online viewing and display and such. But that's, yeah, it's fine. The PSD, this is whatever. This fine. PSD, all good. Yep. Save that. Good. And then that is pretty much it, you know. We can go to full screen here. Just really appreciate it. You also notice that follower goal. Does that even have a time limit on it anymore? Anyway, we're trying to get 50 followers. That's like the first tier of follower goals that Twitch kind of sets up for you. And so that's my first goal, is trying to get 50 followers. So if you do like what you're seeing, please consider giving me a follow. I love doing this kind of stuff, and I'm going to do plenty of it. So if you like it, you know, stay tuned here, follow, you know, check us out when we're live. You know, if you don't catch the live streams, these all will end up on YouTube as well. All Paul Mosi Hinton, same handle, easy to find. And yeah, that's it, man. That's all she wrote, pretty much. Trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else I want to do there. That's it. That is it. So we're good. Thanks for watching all that. That was fun. Again, first actual studio shoot that we did here. Pretty surprised at how that went. I was expecting a few more hiccups. I had run into some prepping for this, run into some things that just weren't working out. So I was kind of expecting some things to go wrong, but they didn't. So we're pretty solid. And I want to say that's because I have the best viewers in the world. It has nothing to do with my skill necessarily. I just happen to have the best viewer base, follower base possible. And then that positivity just really comes into my world here. It comes straight from your living room or your bedroom or whatever, and it just comes into my world. It just makes things so great. So thank you all for being so beautiful and amazing. And you know what? I want to do one more thing. I have a little bit of an unboxing, which is also partly news related. So I did, like I said, we are customizing these cameras. And I've said this 100 times on the stream. I'll say it 1,000,000 times again. The front of the camera in the game that we use is one of these models, and then they've put the back of a different model on the camera in game. So I have to, if I can, I'm pretty sure it looks physically possible. I'm gonna have to do some tests and stuff. It might not work out, but I'm gonna have to combine. I'm gonna have to take off the door, the film compartment door, and it's just this door is different. It's two different model back doors. One has an ASA dial. Here, wait, let me just pull the other one out. It's on the shelf. Cha-ching. One has an ASA dial, one does not. ASA, ISO, if you're not familiar, it's the same thing. Just a different standards organization or whatever. Same number though, ASA and ISO. DIN is different. That's a different number. Same information, different numbers though. So I had to put this back on this camera because this front is right and the other front is wrong. So we are customizing the camera cover, which is going to be a wood grain camera cover. And I needed to customize both these. So I ordered a camera cover for both. And I'll probably end up selling the other one. I'll do like an auction for the second customized camera if anybody wants them. And we're also going to open these up, clean them, lubricate. It's a very easy camera to service, so that'll be fun. That's something else I plan to do on the stream. So anyway, I got we had unboxed the first camera cover already, but this is the second camera cover. Dr. Paxmore asks, is that just for user to keep track of what film they put in? Yes. It doesn't have a coupling. It's not tied. There's no built-in light meter. The only reason you'd want to change the ISO on a film camera, because obviously the film is what the ISO is. There's no digital gain or whatever. So if there's no light meter that needs to know what ISO you're shooting at, because these have no light meter settings or built-in light meters. The only thing is just a reminder so that when you're using the light meter, you know what to set the light meter to, what ISO to set the light meter to, so that can have the proper exposure so that you can then set your shutter speed and f-stop properly on the camera. No digital coupling on that. So anyway, this is the new camera cover. Again, from my buddy Hugo in Texas. His website, I'm pretty sure it's hugostudio.com. I'll have links to that. I want to throw this guy as much work as he does. Such beautiful work. It's incredible. And if you like customizing cameras like this, he's got a lot of stuff that he can do. It's just such beautiful work. Found him on eBay. I'm a big eBay guy. Comes with like a small thing of instructions. Yeah, hugostudio.com. And there is what will be the camera cover. Beautiful wood grain texture for the front and back side of the camera. That's going to be really fun to customize. Yeah, I can't wait to do that. I'd been waiting. I was waiting for these. And then also, again, I have to set up. I want to do that on the stream and getting the camera set up so that you guys are going to be able to watch on my, while I'm working on my work mat, which I showed off at one point. Put this back in here. These are really fragile, or they seem kind of fragile and delicate. So I just want to be careful with it. I'd like to do all the customization of the camera on the stream. That's part of what I think is going to be really cool. Are you saying the files are in the computer? No, the computer is in the files. Is actually how it is. So yeah, that turned out really well. First photo shoot. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of myself for getting that done. And again, thanks everybody for hanging out. Helped me through getting through that first one. Again, it went really smooth in my opinion. So, thank you all for coming. Tomorrow is Friday. We will be doing Photography Friday. That will be very fun. I think it's gonna be very fun. It's all silly, goofy, fun stuff. Nothing serious. Good vibes. We have fun. We put NPCs to sleep fly them and take pictures of them. Very cool. I actually meaning to share. I'm a little lazy about getting that. I know I'm a little lazy about that. I got a lot of stuff going on. Let me put it that way. Got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm working on a lot of these things, like one piece at a time here and there. And I've been a little bit lazy with downloading, cataloging, uploading those images. I really should be doing it like every day after the stream or the next day to keep my workflow going well. But it's not that I don't care. It's that I'm lazy. Oh, no, it's not that I'm lazy. It's just that I don't care. No, it's not kidding. That's not true. I might be kind of lazy, but I do care. I do care, so we're going to do it. Don't worry about that. So keep an eye out. Again, prosnapcameraclub.com is where you see those images and hopefully see more about these Argus cameras because these are the ProSnap cameras. So hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow. As always, love yourself, love others, love life. I'll catch y'all soon. Check this out. We actually have whammy. So I don't have any awkward freeze frame faces or random salutes that I don't want to make. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all soon. Love you all. Peace.